Hello and welcome back to She Sparks Live, episode 13. It is not about the numbers. I'm super excited as we have Miss Glady Dalton here with us today. So thank you for being here, Glady.
Yay! Very well.
So to spark off our episode, we like to ask a crazy question to begin with. And so Glady, that is, if you ever had the opportunity to clone yourself today, would you? And why?
Okay, yes. But I want to know if I can, turn it on and off. Because I don't need another one of me running around.
Play Glady, pause Glady, play Glady, pause Glady.
Activate clone! Yeah, because there's a lot of times where I'm like, okay, but I'm the one who needs to make my YouTube video, and I'm the one who needs to photograph the client, and, so I'm like...
So why would you clone yourself?
So I could, be in more places with clients.
Okay, so you would do it for professional reasons.
Oh, yeah.
What about personal reasons?
Nope.
Nope?
Nope.
I'm the same way. I think I would just be like, Sharon. No.
Yeah.
So I love it, Glady. So Glady is actually the professional photographer for She Sparks business. So Glady, share with us what sparked your journey, what's your passion, and what do you do?
Ooh, me! Okay, so I'm a brand and business photographer, so that means I specialize in brand and business. I do not shoot your babies. Weddings, families, any of that. I will refer that out, and that's why it's so good to know other photographers. But I specialize in headshots, product, stock, social media, interior photos, events, anything to help you tell your story for your brand and your business. And that started because I used to work in glamour, and for a little while, because, to get my business running, I actually was following in a mentor's footsteps. And I think that's how a lot of us do. Yeah, because we're like, we don't know, so let's follow a roadmap that's been established. So that's what I did. And then after a while, I got a client who was a business owner and wanted glamour shots for their business. And that session was 4 hours long because we couldn't shut up, and we were just talking about business and sparking ideas and just all these things. It was so much fun and invigorating and energizing, and instead of being kind of depleted, I was like, I want more of that.
So Glady, how long have you been doing photography for?
Okay, so I got my license in 2016, and I picked up a camera in 2008. So it took me that long to tell myself that you won't hate it if you make a business out of it, because that's what deterred me for so long.
Well, and you love doing it. It's something you're very passionate about.
Yeah, I was terrified that when I did a business in it, though, that I would start to hate it.
Yeah.
So I avoided it for very long.
So, Glady, I remember a couple weeks ago we were having a conversation, and you brought up, it's not about the numbers. And we had such a long conversation about it, and so that's why that's our topic, is it's not all about the numbers. And so that's something that you and I kind of discussed, and it was kind of your idea for the topic as well. So tell me, what does that topic even mean to you? It's not about the numbers.
All right, so we've been trained, and it's totally understandable, to focus on that, to be hyper-focused on our numbers, on our follower count, our subscribers, for our newsletter, for YouTube, for shares and likes and things like that. And so we're super hyper-focused on that, because in the beginning, that was currency. That was what mattered, was that number. And now I think people are starting to realize that it's way bigger picture than that.
Yeah.
It's about the engagement. It's about turnover rate. It's about the right people seeing it, not just anybody seeing it. And so that is why I chose this topic, because I started to notice that for myself. I recently really focused on my YouTube channel. So this year, YouTube's been a huge focus of mine, and I'm loving it. But I'm still small fry over there. I've got 170 something subscribers or whatever. I'm not a million subscriber.
I still think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and then my average views are anywhere between 11 to 20 or something per video. So it's not a big deal. However, it's not about that, because when I would create content, as long as you're focused on your brand and your purpose and your why and who you're talking to, and who you can best help, if you're focused on that, then the right people are going to see it. And that's what really matters, is making sure you're reaching out to the people you can best help, and who you can make an impact on, and who will convert. Because if the right person out of 11 people who see a video turn out to message you, be like, hey, let's work together, which is what happened, then you're like, hey, I'm doing the right thing. I don't need 1,000 people to see this video. I need that person to see this video.
Exactly. No, it's totally true. and it's just being niched of your target audience,
Yes.
right? You ask, when people become a member, it's a part of the application, like you have to tell us who your target audience is. Who are you messaging? Who are you looking for? And a lot of people don't know exactly who that one person is that you talk about. So in their mind, it's everybody. Mm-hmm. But in reality, there is that specific one person that people are targeting.
Yeah.
So how, when we're doing our marketing, how do you feel like, instead of trying to market to everybody, how do you find that one person, that niched target audience in your business?
Well, that comes down to your branding. So I feel like whenever you are putting out more of what you're about and why you're doing what you're doing, then that comes pretty clear, just like on its own. You don't have to focus on that like so much, be like, I don't know who needs this. But like, well, who are you naturally gravitated towards to help? Who best matches your personality wise? Because maybe you and this person do the same thing on paper, but can help different people better because of just who you are and how you approach a problem and how you can solve that and your personality.
Yeah, of course.
And so if you really kind of focus down on who you are and why you're doing this and your, purpose of doing this, then I think it becomes clearer. And then you can start making content for that kind of strategy. You can make content for those problems and for who you are in your way, and then that comes through, and then naturally you're going to build an audience that is attracted to your brand.
No, I love that, Glady. And one thing that I did when I was trying to create She Sparks, I'm like, it's every woman in the entire world needs She Sparks business. But then that was the thing. It was not funneled down to that one person. So I just picked that one person. If my ideal client, if I was messaging or talking to them right now, what would I say and who would that person be? And so I actually wrote a letter to that ideal client, and then I took that letter and just used it throughout my marketing. Mm-hmm. So one thing that really stood out to me that you just barely said was something about serving the same client on paper and like working together or something like that. So you actually mentioned to us community beats competition every time. So let's dive into that. What do you feel like that means? Because there's a lot of people who do what you do, but they're not as niched as you are. And so community beats competition. What does that mean to you?
Okay, so it's pretty common, especially in the photography world, to kind of like get taken over by that monster of competition because there are a lot of photographers and we're like, I don't know. I think it just turns into a monster, especially the longer you stay isolated. So that's why it's super important to get out, like to go to events, go to expos, attend, meetings like She Sparks, because it really connects you with other people and it connects you with people who do what you do, but in their way. And then getting to know the person helps you understand how you're different. And not like in a, I'm better than them way, but like in a, I can serve this kind of person, they can serve that type of person or whatever. And then you know how to refer that for either person. I don't know. It's just the longer you stay, especially if you work for yourself, you stay at home a lot or whatever. The longer you stay away from community, the bigger that monster becomes. And so you really have to kind of force yourself out of that bubble to get that inspiration, to get that connection with other people. And especially if you're in the same field, I totally encourage to get to where you're friends with all the other people who are in your field. Because you can get better referrals that way from each other. I've gotten tons of referrals from other photographers because I'm not like, trying to beat them or something.
I love that about you, Glady, because there are a lot of repeating industries here in Southern Utah, but when you realize that your competition is an opportunity for growth instead of an opportunity to fail, then it's a total mindset thing. But I love that you do that. Just for like an example, like even if there was another photographer in She Sparks, she might be just barely opening her photography business. And if you are a community oriented with her, you can help her grow. You can she looks as you as a mentor. She can pass you the client she can't take care of instead of you like, I don't want to sit with her. She does whatever type of thing.
Yeah, that's silly.
No, I really love that. And so you specialize in business personal branding. What's your definition of personal branding, Glady?
I think it's about, like I said earlier, really showing those aspects of you that are really important. Like, why are you doing what you're doing? What about you draws you to this? What about you is important to you that you want to showcase through your brand and business? Because whenever you start to show more of that, like I said, you're going to attract the people who are attracted to that. And if you're building a personal brand, then and you're doing it right, like maybe you're like trying to do everything except for show your face, because I do know a lot of people who do that. They're like, oh well, let's build this brand, and they start really showcasing who they are in words and stuff and actions, but they're not like showing up. If you're doing it all right, then guess what the audience wants to see? They want to see you, because they're connecting with you, they're connecting with your purpose, your drive, your why. They believe in that, and so they're gonna want to see you.
Well, and someone told me this a while back, and you might agree, and because I'm guilty of this, a lot of social media channels, YouTube channels, they use their logo as their go-to picture.
Yeah.
And it's, who wants to build a relationship with the logo?
Yeah.
Right? They want to build a relationship with you behind the scenes, what's going on. And so someone told me, get rid of your logo and put a picture of actually you and your team, because that's what you're all about.
Yeah.
So,
unless you're Target or Starbucks, put your face up there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they're a very large.
Exactly.
Large.
I mean, that's it. You're because that's what people want in Starbucks. They want that logo.
Yeah.
But when they're talking to a personal brand, or they're talking to even a team of people, guess who they're talking to all the time? They're talking to you.
Yeah.
So they want to see your face.
Yeah, that's totally right. So personal branding, let's dive a little bit deeper into this. So what are some ways people can increase their personal branding, or any tips and tricks that can really help their business with branding in general?
Branding.
Yeah.
I think kind of talking more, rather than just about like what it is you do, it's more about the why. And I keep saying that, but it's just so true. I mean, that book's, who is it? Simon Sinek? Oh, so good, guys. So good.
Start with why.
And then I even started doing the Find Your Why, which is his follow-up that he did with a couple people. And that is emotional crap right there, man. So you have to like kind of go through your memories and sit down with someone and digest them with them to figure out like why at the core of you are you doing what you do. And it's really emotional stuff, guys.
Well, that's what connects, right?
Yeah,
is when you can get that emotional connection to your brand. That's what it is.
That and stories, telling stories. If you're just like literally talking about just things, people aren't going to remember that, but they're going to remember stories. So if I tell you, remember the words blue and elephant and ball, and you're going to be like, okay, and then later on I'll be like, what were those words? And you're like, I don't freaking know. But if I tell you, there was this time I went to the zoo, I saw this elephant, and he was playing with a blue ball.
It's more visual.
It's more visual, and you're going to remember that.
Yeah. I remember I was struggling with my why. I'm like, oh, well, this and this and this, and so this is why I do what I do. And people were like, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You're wrong. So what I had to do, this could be a great technique, is if you're struggling with your why you do what you do, state why you think you do what you do, and then go 7 levels deep, meaning be like, this is why I do what I do, so that blah, 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 so that blah, 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 and go down 7 times doing the so that, and you should finally, hopefully, funnel down.
I say act like a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as you
Go
answer why, be like, okay, but why that?
Yeah.
Okay, but why that? Okay,
Yes.
but why that? So, yeah, really, like, not nail that like a toddler.
So can you help people? You do personal branding for photography and all of that wonderful stuff. If someone wanted to do a personal brand or anything like that, do they go to you, or?
Like if they want to build their brand themselves, like not the images. No, there's a lot of people out there that I would probably recommend who they work with. Because
when it's the imaging piece, that's you.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to sit down. I do coffee chats all the time to talk about that with you, but that's not where I specialize my services in.
I love that. Yeah. So Glady, is there any other education or tips and tricks that you would like to give our listeners about what you do and your talents as a photographer, a business photographer?
Well, I think a lot of times people come to me, they're like, hey, I want to do that, but I don't know what we would take photos of and stuff. And so my favorite thing is to talk to people who aren't even in this world, in the entrepreneur world, right?
Yes.
Not in the world. No,
They're not here.
You know what I mean? Talk to someone who is a past client or an ideal client or something of yours, and talk to a friend who is in this business world but maybe doesn't need your service. Talk to these different people and ask them, what about what I do that you have questions of, or what would you like to see more of, or any of that, and start writing all that down. All of that needs to be dived into with images or video or stories on your Instagram, frequently asked questions, behind the scenes. People nowadays want to see and learn literally everything. They want to fully experience it before they actually sign up with you.
Yeah, the fear of missing out. That's exactly what you do, is you show that.
You do. You need
visually,
to show that.
Yes. She's actually helping me. It's like, other than taking pictures of events, what else can we do? So she's really good at thinking outside the box to take that personal branding and that image to the next level. So, Glady, to end episode 13, I would love to know your testimonial of She Sparks. You're a sponsor of She Sparks Business, and you help us with all of our personal branding. But how has She Sparks Business helped you personally and professionally?
All right, so professionally, I'm already working with several of the members of She Sparks, so I think that is so fun.
Woo! Yes.
And I love the spark. I mean, honestly, the energy of the women that you get together in there, they're just like, whew, I need to be around these people. And so that's also another reason why I just want to make sure that I'm a part of it in any way I can, because it's like that community competition thing. Just being a part of community as much as you can is really going to help you.
Yeah. And so what would you like to say to those who've never been to an event or experienced just a women supporting culture? What would you like to say to them?
Go, attack. No, for real.
Attack.
I tell everyone, like, when I'm doing photos, I'm like, attack. So yeah, no, really, you want to go. And I know a lot of times people don't go because they're super introverted and they don't understand, like, don't know how it's going to help them, or they're not clear in their business. That's another reason I've heard. This event and events like this are a great way for you to kind of figure that out, even if you aren't, like, solid yet. Go anyway, because you're going to get more than just a professional, like, elevator pitch style thing. You're going to get support in both personal and professional experiences. So definitely go.
So my last question for you is, your business is Heart Take the Wheel.
Yes.
If they want some photography work, branding work, or anything like that, how can they find you, Glady?
Oh man, you know me. I'm all over the place. HeartTakeTheWheel.com, of course, is my website. I'm super active on Instagram. That's where you'll find me doing all the things.
I love her Instagram.
So yeah, at Heart Take the Wheel there, and then my YouTube channel is my new baby. So you can find me just searching Heart Take the Wheel on YouTube.
I love it, Glady. Well, Miss Glady Dalton, everybody, this is episode 13. It's not all about the numbers. Just a reminder, if you would like to see any of the past episodes or education and the free value that we provide, you can hop on to our YouTube channel at She Sparks Business. So thanks for watching. We'll see you at episode 14.